Akanda Mandala Karam Vyaptam Jena Chara Charam Tatpadam Darshitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Agyana Timirandhasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tasmai Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudeva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Janamulam Guru Murti Puja Mulam Guru Param Mantra Mulam Guru Vakyam Moksha Mulam Guru Kripa Moksha Mulam Guru Kripa. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karahu Guru Deva Kinai. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karahu Gurudeva Kinai. Oh Rama, oh Rama, oh Rama, oh Rama, oh Rama, oh Rama, Sita Rama, Sita Rama, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram. Oh Hari Om. Hari Hari Om. Hari Om. Guru Om. Guru Om. Om Shri 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 Bhavanim Karoli Sant Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Shri 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 Jagadambe Siddhi Ma Ki Jai. I got so much I want to share with you in talking, but right now, let's do call and response with just short phrases of ah and short phrases of Hari Om. I'll sing it and you sing it back, and really don't try hard to make it exact, or just respond. And then I'll go into a Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. With the melody is kind of complex, so I will, I'll break the melody down into sections, and then we'll do the whole thing. So, are we okay to just dive in like that? And one thing I always like to remind people, it's not a spiritual thing, but when you sing, it's really good to open your mouth. Experiment with it. Certain syllables, really want you to open your mouth, and others not. But Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram.
I know that high note is high, but just reach for it gently. Don't have to strain to hit it. Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. I must simplify that. Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram
Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
So here's the whole thing together, and then we'll add rhythm. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram,
Jaya Jaya
Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
There's like a little pause there. Here we go. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram
Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Let's sing all together. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaya Jaya Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai
Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jaya Jaya Ram. Syavara Ramachandra ki jai, Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki jai. Shri 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 Bhavanim Karoli Santa Maharaj ki jai. Shri 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 Jagatambe Siddhima ki jai. Well, yesterday I introduced the idea of Bhakti Circle, as being honest and vulnerable in the moment of how, our life of Bhakti waxes and wanes and ebbs and flows, and how, we try our very best to keep our intention to stay in service, to stay in kindness, and, to stay open. So I want to just share with you, yesterday we also talked, I also talked about what Siddhima had said, what does it matter what you feel, Jai Gopal? And we had, a big discussion around that, and I was feeling it so much. So the afternoon progressed, and then I had a little nervousness. I do get nervous in front of people, but I didn't expect that I would be nervous going to sing in the temple, but I was a little nervous, and Arti went late, and then I brought my guitar in, and the sound check was chaotic because it was so late and everything. And then what happened? The sound system didn't work, and I got initially very frustrated and like upset, not angry. That came a little later, but just what happened was, okay, the sound system worked. One would say, oh, sound system's not working. Well, we'll either get it working or we won't, and we'll try our best. That's what like a nice elevated person would think. But I felt, oh my God, this is all happening to me. The entire absolute like non-forward motion of the evening is like, it's happening to me. And then I started to get really contracted. And then I started to think, Jai, you're so contracted and uptight. And I looked around for, where's my whip? Okay, there, I got it. And I was like, darn. And then, I wasn't in it. And then we sort of jerry-rigged, and it wasn't the greatest, but we got something working with sound. And so we started singing, but I was feeling so like shut down. I started singing anyway. Okay, then I think, what does it matter what you feel, Jai Gopal? But it mattered to me a lot. And then actually, when Nubia called from the other side of the room, I don't know exactly what you said, Jai, say something. And then when I could just like talk with you all and tell a little about my experience with Maharaji and stuff, then I started relaxing. And then we sang, I don't remember, I think we sang the Hare Krishna next, and I was able to just kind of sing my heart out, and then we did Twameva, and it was very gentle, and it was a beautiful feeling. But when I got back to my little casita with Nubia, I was depressed. And well, I'm not asking for sympathy. I was depressed because I had gotten so self-centered around the whole thing. Self-centered, not in that odd way of like, somehow I was thinking, oh, Jai, yeah, you knew it all along. You're a failure. And then I did my little, before going to bed, puja, Hanuman Chalisa, and another prayer, and then I went to bed, and I fell asleep after a while. I was physically uncomfortable, but I fell asleep after a while. And when I woke up this morning, I saw the entire story that I just told you. I saw, but then rather than like reaching for the whip, it was like, oh wow, man, you're human, aren't you? And And that's awesome that, people talk about, so many people I hear say, like when you're in the presence of the guru, the churning of all your inner stuff gets more intense. And I actually never paid that much mind to that concept. I don't know if it's true, but I will say that last night yesterday afternoon I was quite clear about my, feeling of service. And yesterday night, I was so clear that I forgot everything. I should say this morning, I was so clear that last night I forgot everything. And how beautiful that is to remember how human and imperfect we are. But it wasn't an easy moment for me. And then I was walking here to the tent, and Kristen says, "Oh, that was so beautiful last night, Jai, and your ability to navigate all the different stuff was so masterful." I think you said something like that. And I said, "Wow, okay, Jai Gopal, it is your service. And regardless of what you're going through, Maharaji, the name, the practice, is happening." So, yeah, so I just wanted to be real transparent with you all about that.
Thank you, Jai.
There was one moment last night, we were sort of getting it together, and then David looked over to me and he said, "I need one more minute to do something." And I was like, "I can't." I started singing. That's how loving and kind I am.
It was a great let go moment.
So, anyway,
Describing the whole palette of emotions, which is so beautiful, so Bhakti, but you forgot one, that it was before the pressure. When we got to the casita, you went straight to the room, you bowed to Maharaji, and then we sat.
yes, okay. I forgot that, yes. We got to the casita, and the first thing I did was went to our little altar, and I bowed head down, and I said, "This is yours. This is all you." And then I came up from bowing, and I said to Nubia, "I'm mad at Maharaji." My music teacher, Ali Akbar Khan, well, he was such a bhakta, but in his own very unique way. So he passed, but in the room where he hung out, really, it was just his room. He had an altar that it was huge. It was maybe from that panel to the end. It was very, I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing it right, but it was really, really big with a whole bunch of shelves. And on all the shelves he had his family guru, he had pictures of all the gods and goddesses, he had his father and mother, and on the top he had the Quran. It's funny because he worshipped all the Hindu gods and then had the Quran on top. But anyway, his altar had curtains. And every evening at around 6, because he would take a nap, and he was old, he would take a nap and he would take his bath, and then he would do his puja with candles and incense to this whole kind of temple. And then he would draw the curtains, and then he would sit down and relax and pour himself a scotch and smoke a cigarette. And I said to him one day, "Concept, why are you drawing the curtains? Why are you closing the curtains?" And he said, "Well, I don't like doing this with God watching." So devotion and bhakti is this personal relationship with God, goddess, or however you conceive. And I realized that we laughed because we, meaning Nubia and I, because if I didn't have a personal relationship with Maharaji, I could never say I'm mad at you, Maharaji. And I wasn't raging, but the people that, not the people, yeah, the people, the beloveds, the ones who are closest to you, we share and we express all of our emotions. We do it, hopefully, God willing, we do it in a conscious way, not like going crazy, and when we sing, or I think when I sing, I feel so many different kinds of emotions and feelings just flowing through me as I'm singing. And yes, there's times when I'm singing where I feel anger, but it's not anger at anything, or anyone. It's just that wave, that fire wave, And then I sing, and that passes, and there's a wave of poignant, bittersweet longing. Then there's certainly times of joy of singing. I'm so happy, and so many things. And all those colors. Well, you read about Radha and Krishna expressed all those colors to each other. All, love and devotion is not a narrow thing. It's the widest open thing. And in that, we allow all of our feelings to come, and it's so beautiful. Like a long time ago, I was in Germany, doing a workshop similar like this. It was before we discovered the phrase Bhakti circle, but it was basically the same thing. And a guy in the back, an older guy, raised his hand and said, Jai, I was an opera singer, and I used to love singing. Singing was my life. And then something happened, he didn't say what, and I just got so sad that I have never sung again. I just have not sung for years because I'm so sad. And and that touched my heart so deeply, and it was so real. He was, really expressing himself. And he wasn't even asking, it's not like he was asking for anything, he was just expressing himself. And I said, for me, in my life, like the most powerful fuel of my devotional singing is sadness. It's not that I live in sadness, but that place in the heart that's so deeply longing and so deeply, in a way, hurting. That's the most, at least for me, that's the most intense place from which my singing comes. It doesn't stay there, the singing is like such a churning wheel, but that sadness is so. I said to him, well, I couldn't really say any more than that, but I said, I hope you just try that. Try to sing from that. It can be really, if you're really feeling sad, it can be almost devastating to sit in that sadness and sing. But then as you express it, it's not that it goes away, but it changes. It does change. And yeah, just saying about all the emotions that we can, like certain spiritual practices and paths ask the practitioners to kind of view the emotions from afar, watch them come and go, watch them fade, watch them, just watch them and kill them. Yeah. But in Bhakti, we don't do that. We want to feel them, and put them in our songs, put them in our japa, put them in our prayers, all those feelings. Sadness versus yearning. Sadness versus yearning. Well, that's a beautiful question. And there's many levels of it. On one level, sadness can be often related to something that happened in your life, right? Where yearning is that almost primordial longing for connection, whether you call it spiritual connection or human connection, but just connection. But I don't think that, personally, that some emotions are spiritual and some emotions are not. I think that sadness is one of the most beautiful primal emotions of the human heart. And sadness, you can get lost in it, and as I have in my life, with alcoholism and stuff. But sadness just with the slightest flip, becomes longing and yearning. And the incidental, or the, like the human life thing that caused the sadness becomes much, much, much smaller as the yearning seeks for something much, much bigger. If that makes sense. Do I have any new music coming? Did you hear my last album, Dust and Tears? It was just, I don't even know if it was a year ago. It was when? Last fall. And yeah, last fall. I can't remember what month we're in right now, but I am working on a very extended version of Hanuman Chalisa with a lot of different musical sections, but that should be ready in the fall, I think.
Yeah, Ma, it's so beautiful singing with you, and I love hearing the invocations, singing Tama and Maharaji, and then, invoking them after. And I'm just curious, in your experience of traveling with Siddhi Ma, because there's this range of emotion, right? So going on pilgrimage and maybe even bringing your baby to meet Ma for the first time, like what was that experience like? And how did the range of emotions weave its way through that pilgrimage?
Okay, there's just kind of two things. One of the most beautiful experiences was going with Siddhi Ma to Rameshwaram in South India. She took a handful of people, and Rameshwaram is, well, it's many things, but it's on the southern tip of India, and it's the place where Hanuman jumped from across the ocean to Lanka to find Sita, and it's the place where Rama, planned the war, and where from the place where they built the bridge of stones, etc., etc. So it's a really holy spiritual pilgrimage place. So Siddhi Ma took a bunch of us down there, and first it was an overnight train ride, and Ma and the Mas stayed up the whole night singing and talking about Maharaji. I fell out after a while, and then. But anyway, I had come to the place where I'm super into the Ramayana, particularly Tulsidas Sri Ramachartamanas. But I had come to the place in my mind at that, prior to that it was, this beautiful allegory, this beautiful metaphor, this beautiful spiritual teaching text, which is a really nice way to appreciate it. But so then the next morning, we all get there's a bunch of rickshaws, little three-wheelers. And Siddhi Ma says, we're going to go visit a lot of the places from the Ramayana. So the first place we go to, it's this crumbling old kind of palace. It's really crumbling. And she said, this is where Bibhishan, Ravana's brother, who's holy of the holy, this is where Bibhishan came to establish his kingdom. And when she said that, my whole body started having chills and trembling. And then she took us to the next spot, which was a big, deep depression in the ground. And she said, this used to be a mountain, and this is where Hanuman leapt from, and he pushed the mountain down. And then she took us to this grove, like there was a small lake, and then a grove of, like a little forest. And she took us into the forest, and there was this altar of serpents, all these images, and also statues of snakes. And she said, this is where Sita prayed. And so, the day went on and on and on. It was like oh God, what was I thinking? And that's lasted to now. The Ramayana was completely real. It happened completely. And then, not so many years ago, in the newspapers, particularly in all the newspapers of the Hindu diaspora, the headlines were, NASA space imagery discovers the remains of a stone bridge connecting Rameshwaram to Sri Lanka. And this was the bridge that the monkeys built. I was like, wow, what? And, so now I am complete, like, I don't expect anyone to appreciate these stories in the way that I do. But for me, this is all real. So anyway, that was awesome. And then the times that we were with Siddhima with Ezra, oh man, I think there was 3 trips with her, 2 or 3, no, there was, or 4. Was it 4, Nubia? 4 trips where we were with Ma, with Ezra. The first trip that we went together as a family, we couldn't find her. And, we just realized we weren't meant to see her just then. But I guess it was 2 years later, we went back and we saw her in Rishikesh, right? It was in Rishikesh. And Ezra was so enamored of her. And she gave him presents. She gave him Maharaji's cloths and a little statue of Krishna. I might be getting the different visits kind of mixed up, but what is my emotion around that? Ezra is my, like, everything. So seeing him so in love with Siddhima and seeing Siddhima so giving to him, and what can I say? I was like, what do they say? The Jewish father kfels? Well, it was beyond that. It was like, yes, my life actually does have purpose.
So this isn't really just a question, but I just want to say that I've listened to you for decades. I've never seen you here. I've lived here on and off 20 years, but I saw you 2 years ago at Omega, and I think you were with Cece, and you did something like ska kirtan. And it was so rocking, and it was so amazing. It's so nice to now see you in the full bhakti, not that wasn't bhakti, but in the full heart of stillness and presence, and not that wasn't stillness and presence, but I just want to say I really appreciate what you let flow through you with all the rhythms and all the colors and all the manifestations of kirtan and bhakti that flow through you. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I have to say that, I have so many, I love ska, and I love reggae, and I have so many recordings of kirtan in that style. My fans most love the quiet stuff, but I love the noisy stuff. So.
I love that rhythm. That ska was rough.
Tyler.
Hey Jai, it's so good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we sing the Hanuman Chalisa, your family melody? Together?
Yes, I'm just looking at the time, and I will make time to do it.
Great, thank you.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. I love how you call it the family melody, because that's what I call it.
Hey, thank you.
Hi.
I love you.
Aw.
Do you hear all the thunder out there? What does the thunder have to do with Hanuman?
Thunderbolt.
Hanuman's weapon is the thunderbolt. Yeah, and when Hanuman was a baby, his name wasn't Hanuman, it was Maruti. It means wind spirit. And most of you probably know the story. And so his mother, thank you, Anjani was cooking him his breakfast porridge, and Hanuman was in his swing, and he was hungry and impatient. And so he saw the rising sun, and he thought it was a mango, and he jumped into the sky and took a bite of it. Now, then Indra, who is he's the Lord of the heavens, but he's kind of like the governor of, he controls the water and the electricity and the gas and the seasons and all the technical things of existence. So he saw that the world was getting dark because this baby monkey bit the sun. So he threw his thunderbolt at the baby, and the baby fell down to earth, pow, and broke his jaw. And in Sanskrit, broken jaw is Hanuman. So Hanuman's father, Vayu, the wind god, was enraged that anyone would hurt his child. So he took his child, Hanuman, to a subterranean cave and withdrew all the air from all the worlds. And, very quickly everything was dying and wilting and falling over. And all the gods, with Brahma at the head, came down and said, you can't do this, release the air, release the air. And Vayu said, only, first of all, Indra has to come and apologize and give my son his weapon. And then all the gods and goddesses have to come and give my child their primordial weapons. So the Hanuman, who is also the incarnation of Shiva, already, super soul, got all these weapons, but his main weapon is the thunderbolt. So, yeah.
You hear it?
Hanuman Das.
I'd love to have you talk about something I think about a lot, and that's that Ram was an incarnation of Vishnu, and Hanuman was a manifestation of Shiva, and yet he was totally devoted to Ram. What is your take on that, and why, and the relationship between Vishnu and Shiva?
That's so fun because, for centuries, probably yugas, the devotees of Vishnu have argued with the devotees of Shiva as to who's the most powerful. And I couldn't, begin to answer that question. But in this case, in this story, Shiva wanted to come and serve his beloved Rama. Shiva is considered the most extreme devotee of Vishnu. And there's a story about when the demons and the gods were fighting for dominion once again of the universe. It seems to be something that repeats and repeats and repeats. But so this serpent offered himself to be the rope for the tug of war. So, the demons were on that side of the infinite ocean, and gods were on this side, and they're churning with this rope back and forth, this snake back and forth, churning, like when somebody's making ghee. And from the bottom of the ocean came this poison, this primordial poison, and it was going to kill everybody just like this. And Shiva jumped up and he drank it. But then he thought, my beloved Vishnu is the indwelling spirit of my own soul. And if I swallow this poison, it's going to go to Vishnu. So he held it in his throat, and his throat turned blue, and to this day, he holds it in his throat. And so, it seems like they just love each other. What can you say? The story, not the story, but people go to Varanasi, Benares, to die because they know that Shiva will whisper the name Ram into their ear at the moment of death. Tulsidas, one thing I love reading, and this is sometimes some Indians have come up to me and say, oh, you're such a devotee of Rama. And I think, look, I wish that was true. I don't know if that's true. But one thing is that I clutch Rama's name. And Tulsidas said, as infinite and all pervasive as Lord Rama is, his name is even higher. So I like to say Ram. I don't know that answered your question at all, Hanuman Das, because I don't have an answer to that question. Mangala Murati Marutanandan Sakala Mangala Mulani Kandana Mangala Murati Marutanandan Sakala Mangala Mulani Kandan Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamanu Mukuru Sudari Baranon Raghubara Bimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumaram Pavana Kumara Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohim Harahu Kalesha Vikar Siyawara Ramachandra Parajay Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar Jaya Kapi Satihun Loka Ujagar Ramadur Tatulita Baladama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama Mahabhira Vikrama Bajarangi Kumatini Vara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hatha Vajra Odvaja Viraja Kande Muja Jane Osaja Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan Teja Pratapat Mahajagabandan Vidyavana Guni Ati Chatur Rama Kaja Karibeko Atur Prabhu Charitra Sunibeko Rasiya Rama Lakana Sita Manabasiya Sukshma Rupa Dharisiya Indikawa Pikata Rupa Dhari Lanka Jarawa Bhima Rupa Dhari Asura Sanhare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Sanware Laya Sajivana Lakana Jiyaye Shri Raghubira Rashi Oralai Raghupati Ki Bahota Barai Tuma Mama Priya Bharatai Samabai Sahasa Badana Tumharo Jasagawan Asakai Shri Pati Kangalagawan Karika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sarada Sahita Isa Yama Kubera Digapala Jahante Kavi Kobida Kaye Sake Kahante Tuma Upakara Sugriva Hinkina Rama Milaya Raja Paradina Tumaro Mantra Bibhishana Mana Lanke Shwara Bhai Sabha Jagajana Yuga Sahasra Jojana Parabhanu Niyota Himadura Palajanu Prabhu Mudrika Meli Mukamahi Chaladi Langi Gaye Achara Janahi Durga Makaja Jagata Ke Jete Sugamanu Graha Tumare Tete Rama Duare Tumara Govare Hotana Agya Binu Paisare Sabha Sukalai Tumhare Sharana Tumara Kshaka Kahu Kodarana Apana Teja Samharo Ape Loka Hankaten Kampe Bhuta Pisacha Nikatana Hinawe Mahabhira Jabanama Sunawe Nasero Gahare Sabapira Chapata Nirantara Hanumata Bira Sangata Se Hanumana Chirawe Manakrama bachana jana jolawe Sava pararama tapasvi raja Tinake kaja sakala tumasaja Ora manorata joko elawe Soyamita jivana palapawe Charana yuga paratapa tumhara He parasiddha jagata ujiyara Sadhu santa ke tumhara kaware Asura nikandana rama dulare Ashta siddhi nidhi ke data Asabaradina janaki mata Rama rasayana tumhare pasa Sada roho raghupati ke dasa Tumhare bhajana rama ko pawe Janama janama ke dukha bisarawe Antakala raghupara pura jai Jahan janma hari bhakta kahai Ora devata chittana darai Anumata se sarva sukha karai Sankata kate mite sababira Jo sumare Hanumata balabira Jai 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 Hanumana gosai Kripa karahu guru deva kinai Jo satabara patta karakoi Chutahi banvi mahasukha hoi Joya pare Hanumana chalisa Hoya siddhi saki gorisa Tulasi dasa sada hari chera Kije nata hridaya mahandera Pavanatanaya sankatarana Mangala Murati Rupa Rama Lakana Sita Sahita Hridaya Basahu Surabhup Siyavara Ramachandra Bharajai Sharanam Pavana Sita Hanuman Ki Jai Shumapati Mahadev Ki Jai Shri 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 Bhavanim Karodi Santa Maharaja Ki Jai Shri 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 Jagadambe Siddhima Ki Jai See y'all later. Have a great, 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 great afternoon.